typically at Christmas, people eat a lot of dessert-ish foods, carb-heavy foods, all this stuff. I use Christmas to just eat protein. I eat protein on protein. I eat every living animal you can kill and put on the table at Christmas. Ham, turkey, prawns, fish, chicken, you name it. I am ODing on protein at Christmas time because Christmas is get f***ing swole time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bulletproof for BJ podcast. Merry Christmas, fam. It is that time of year. I thought it would be good for us to just thank you for being with us all year, listening to our voices, our ramblings, our contradictions, our lack of factual accuracy.
Don't lump me into your contradictions, bro.
Hey, man, we've all got them. We're all human. But we wanted to thank you, appreciate you, and talk a little bit about Christmas time. Because Christmas time in Australia is somewhat different to our American cousins and even Northern Hemisphere friends in the UK and Europe.
Those other countries up there.
Yeah, because we do like the barbecue. It is hot for us here at Christmas time. And so it's different for us, whereas other people are freezing their nuts off. And I thought we'd talk a little bit about what we do at Christmas, because we probably both do Christmas a little bit differently. Joe, what do you do at Christmas? What's the fam look like for you?
It's usually pretty standard. Get together with the fam, eat a bunch of shit, hang out. My mum's birthday is the day after Boxing Day.
Oh, right, there you go.
So there's usually which she's always doesn't want to do anything.
Oh, okay.
We've just had Christmas. I don't want
Too much.
But we're usually go on, let's have a lunch or something. So, we'll hang out. But this year, I'm actually going to go and spend it with my lady's family.
Oh, awesome.
Which is, oddly, first time in a long time that I haven't been with my fam.
Right.
And, I'm a grown-ass man, so I can handle that. But
you can do whatever you
like. The little boy in me was like, you mean I'm not going to be with my family on
Mum and
Christmas?
Daddy? Yeah. I get it.
But yeah, so we're doing that. And then, and we've all, we've got the kids and shit. And then we'll go spend a couple of days with my parents and my brother and sister after.
Is Christmas different when you got kids? Because you gotta, is there something, do you have to approach it differently with the tree and the gifts and how you treat it? Opening the gifts?
Yeah. You got to do all that, and it's definitely I'm trying to think back to, because I've had kids now, be it mine or my my daughter that came into my life, when I got together with my partner.
Sure.
That's been 6 years now.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think back to what I was, but yeah, when I didn't have kids, Christmas was just I don't do it. You want let's go out.
It's time to booze, baby.
Yeah, let's do some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is a classic thing of any young parent is that you look back, you're like, what the fuck did I do with all that spare time?
Yes.
But yeah, so yeah, there's a little bit of that. Yeah, they'll get up in the morning, go do the presents thing. Yep. We're pretty lax with all that. We still don't have a Christmas tree up. It's
oh my God,
19th of December.
What
or whatever.
the is going on? Ola had me at the Christmas tree farm 3 weeks ago.
Did she?
Our Christmas tree is almost at posthumous right now.
Holy shit.
Dude, she
good on you guys.
So,
she's a bit of a traditionalist.
She's a very, my partner, she's Polish and she likes traditions and routines. And I couldn't go so far as to say it's a tradition, but she's already called it. It's a tradition that we go to the Christmas tree farm. So out here in Australia, pine trees are not, they're not native. You got to grow those suckers. And she really likes to go out wherever, middle of nowhere, and you can choose your tree. And you pick it and you can cut it yourself, or sometimes they'll come and they'll bring a chainsaw and cut it for you.
Yep.
And depending on the height, girth, whatever, they'll charge you more.
Wow, yeah.
And then you put that bad boy in the back of the car and like a true pagan, throw it in your house and adorn it. So that's the thing a lot of people don't realize. The cutting of the tree and having it inside is actually a pagan tradition. Well, it was the Christians came through and went, that's ours.
It was the Yule. It was referred to as the Yule, was it not?
I'm not sure.
And I believe that before the decorations,
right,
it was Christmas was the celebration, right, that occurred at midwinter.
Yes.
And Northern Hemisphere. And you would go and you would get the largest log you could wrestle back into your home, right, and you would burn it.
Oh.
And then the festivities would take place around the burning Yule.
Right, there you are.
I believe.
Okay.
I'm preparing a Yule for midwinter 2020 for, which is like whatever, like middle of June.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Fucking gum tree that I got drying at the moment. But anyway, yeah, go on.
6 months prepared for the Yule, no fucking Christmas tree on the 20th.
I got a stump over here, but there's nothing to hang tinsel on.
Don't worry about that. But
So
yeah,
so where do, like, you go out to this place, you pay top dollar or you pay less because
no, you pay more. You
your
pay more because it's like fresh.
Right.
And yeah, it's funny because there's no delivery. It isn't pre-done for you. It's like DIY, but you pay more, which is kind of weird. But there's some huge trees out there, dude. And these farms, they exist year round to only be farmed at that little 4-week period for Christmas.
Yeah.
It's awesome though, because what I love about it, and this is purely, nostalgic, is the smell of a Christmas tree in your house.
Lovely.
You walk in, you're like, yeah, Christmas, bitch. Whatever that means. And also decorating. So Ola likes to film the decorating of the tree. And
You'll film it.
yeah, well, she's got a bunch of decorations from Poland, which were gifts. And so there's like a connection to home for her in that.
Fuck, it makes a lot of sense.
It's nice.
And for her, obviously, it would have been a winter
A
thing.
white Christmas.
Snow and all that.
Yeah. So, but it's all good. I mean, we'll do fam time and all that.
Do you ever put on the, have you ever tried the fireplace YouTube videos?
No.
You got these, you got like rainy day
like
YouTube
yeah.
you just go like, you just go on YouTube and you're like fireplace. And it'll be like a running 10-hour video of just a burning timber fire.
Put on your TV.
And it's actually like, bro, you get there, you're like,
Quite
damn, it
soothing.
feels cozy in here.
Yeah. Crack out the eggnog.
Which we don't even know what eggnog is. We just know it from American films. Did you guys fuck with that?
No. I mean, there is some traditional foods that Ola makes relevant to kind of Polish cuisine. But it really, Christmas time in my house is we get a bit, barbecue, big bunch of food. My dad's pescatarian. He pretty much just lives on prawns anyway.
Right on.
Big gang of prawns.
Likes the bottom feeders, huh?
Oh, he does. He's all about it. And then, bloody hell, we hang out, and then you can do the thing on, what we typically do is, because in Poland, actually, Christmas is celebrated the Christmas Eve, kind of day before.
Yeah.
And just because my sister, Kate White, who's also a producer of this show, shout out, she typically spends Christmas Day with her husband's family.
Right.
The way it's worked out this year is she is free on Christmas Day. So everybody's going to get together, which is cool. But this is what I want to talk about. Typically at Christmas, people eat a lot of dessert-ish foods, carb-heavy foods, all this stuff. I use Christmas to just eat protein. I eat protein on protein. I eat every living animal you can kill and put on the table at Christmas. Ham, turkey, prawns, fish, chicken, you name it. I am ODing on protein at Christmas time because Christmas is get f***ing swole time.
Yeah, clog up those toilet pipes.
Oh my goodness.
Mom,
no,
again.
no, actually. No, I think what a lot of people don't understand about when you eat really large amounts of protein, you're not backed up. It's all free flowing. It's not a problem. We won't go deep into it, but a lot of people when they try the carnivore diet, the first thing they talk about is they get like almost like a diuretic effect.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any fiber clogging up
Locking
the
them up.
system. Yeah. And so what I like at Christmas time is because I got more time, I tend to just... Jiu-jitsu is typically not always on the calendar because gym's shut and people are taking it easy, at least here in Australia.
Do you train on Christmas Day?
You
do that kind of
no. No. I could, but it's like, no.
I mean, I have.
I have for sure. It just depends. I think it's more that I like to take that time, just spend time with family members I haven't seen.
Yeah.
It's just people come together who you may not see for another year or 6 months, or depending on how you live your life. People say, what's your secret, JT? Why are your muscles so pumped? Why are you so strong on the mats? Is it the secret sauce? No, it's not. It's hydration, my friends. I every day am using Sodi, Sodii. I use it in the morning first thing, use it when I have my creatine, and I also have it before training. I'll dilute a sachet into about 500, 600 mils of water, and it just keeps me going. I don't get headaches, I don't get cramps, and I don't get tired as quickly. So this is the sachet version. They also have tubs, which is really good too. And they have awesome flavors. This is my favorite, which is salty grapefruit. They have their citrus. They've got pineapple. They've got so many good flavors. It's definitely worth checking out. So you, my friends, if you would like to be better hydrated, feel pumped, feel strong, get on the real magic sauce, which is Sodi. You can get a 15% discount when you use discount code Bulletproof15, sodi.com.au. But definitely on Boxing Day, I'm going to hit the gym.
Boxing Day, huh?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people go do Boxing Day sales and all that shit. I am not a consumerist kind of person. Actually, the one thing that drives me insane.
That's what everyone with the secret Amazon addiction says.
No, but I don't. I
with that stuff.
Ordering online. Check out. No, okay. So I used to live in Melbourne, and there is a massive shopping mall in Melbourne called Chadstone. It's one of the largest malls in Australia, if not the largest. And what would blow my mind is the queue of cars to get into the parking lot at Chadstone. But this is a funny thing. Across the road from Chadstone is McDonald's. There's always parks in the car park at Macca's. You could just hook in at McDonald's and walk half a block to the mall. But people just want to get in there. And the mania around shopping at Christmas is the one thing that I detest.
Shopping carts probably lock up if you try to leave the block though.
Oh, they do.
I mean, yeah. Because I'm thinking like people are out there on Boxing Day like just buying ridiculous shit that they do not need. Like big TVs and washing machines.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do I get this in the boot of my shitbox car?
Yeah, sure. Or your oversized SUV or whatever. And look, man, people like what they like. I don't want to hit this one on a judgment level. It's more just like time spent. What I like about Christmas is I've got more free time. If there's a fucking open mat, yeah, I'm going. Opportunity to go to the gym, opportunity to sleep in. It's fucking golden, in my opinion. I think Christmas time or this holiday period between 25th and whenever you can do. Yeah, I love it. And in Australia, it's particularly hot, so it might be an excuse. We go to the beach, whereas there's people out there shoveling their driveways for snow and ice and shit.
Yeah.
We're all like, get that 50 plus sunscreen and still get burnt. Go get yourself some melanoma like a real Australian. So
talking about prawns earlier made me think about, I saw a cool post the other day, it reminded me. So all the Americans know that they always throw another shrimp on the barbie thing. And so you know where that came from?
Dumb and Dumber, right?
No,
he says that. Jim Carrey famously says that in Dumb and Dumber.
He does.
Trying to impersonate
but he's referencing this tourism commercial that we put out, I think in the 80s with Paul Hogan.
Crocodile Dundee.
National treasure of the country.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
Yeah, that's right. And Paul Hogan, it's an ad and it's like him and he's out on the lawn. And I think it's up on Observatory Hill because the Harbour Bridge is in the background.
Right.
And he's basically saying like, how bloody hell how I are. And then he's like, come over here and we'll throw another shrimp on the barbie.
Right.
And it was an ad that went out to America. So a whole generation of Americans saw that ad.
That's Australia.
And they're like, shrimp on the barbie, not realizing that they actually changed the script to make it shrimp because we don't say that. We say prawns.
Yeah, but that's for the Americans. Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, just maybe I saw that. It was like one of those history posts.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, what a classic ad. I never saw it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, shit, yeah, that's where it came from. All right.
I think what is amazing, I actually went back and watched Crocodile Dundee probably a couple months back. Not intentionally. It just happened to be on the television. I was in the vicinity and I was like, yeah, fuck this. I'll watch this. I'm down with this. It is a rom-com and basically he knocks everyone out. The solution to any problem, if you're Crocodile Dundee, is just wham. And then no one was looking. Oh, he fell asleep. I don't know what happened. Or here's a knife. Here's a bayonet.
Yeah.
And you don't...
That I brought overseas. I traveled
on a plane with this. Like, dude, smoking on the airplane. Yeah, it's pretty...
days, man.
Man, it's pretty epic. I mean, it's one of those things that it's like, wow, it's amazing to think about how America views Australia because then our next icon, what other than our sporting icons or our actual indigenous icons is, Steve Irwin. They're like, another madman who with crocodiles? Yes, that's Australia. I love a no.
Yeah.
And he was legit. Like, you know, Paul Hogan was an entertainer and they made this persona out of him. But, you know, Steve Irwin's a legend and I admire him so much because he was into conservation. He wasn't about stabbing crocodiles in the head. You know, like,
Dundee did that, didn't
he did. Yeah, he jumps in and I don't even know if that's physically possible, but, you know, they did it. But here's something I just want to share with you. A lot of people don't know that before Steve Irwin was of his international fame, he was out at night in mangroves in a dinghy with just like a torch and ropes and tags, no knife, no gun, trying to wrestle saltwater crocodiles into his boat so he could tag them and then release them at night by himself. Like,
no one creating content around it.
No. He could easily fall in the water, get eaten and die.
Yeah.
But what a legend. And he dedicated a lot of his personal wealth to buying up big kind of chunks of land for conservation. And that's what he did. I actually saw him at his crocodile park back in the day before he passed away, RIP.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I kind of not met him, but he was there hanging out with his young son as a baby.
How cool.
Yeah, I know, it's such a dude.
Yeah.
Just he was in person kind of his TV persona.
When they made the film with him,
Yes.
the director decided he didn't want to give him the script because he wanted to retain the naturalness of Steve's presentation. So he would just feed him the lines before the scene. So he's like, right, Steve, in this scene, you're going to say this. He'd be like, right, I got it.
Yeah.
And it was and that was his strategy, and apparently it worked really well.
Yeah. I mean, such a larger-than-life character.
That video popped up the other day where he's on like Agro's Cartoon Connection, like, you know, kids show, and he's got a snake wrapped around him, and he's talking about the snake to the woman. She's like, oh God, I'd never do that. He's like, no, it's fine. And then he's like, oh, and the snake's just moving back, like moving its head back towards his, sort of the back of his neck. And then it just bites into him. And then he's like, oh, yeah, no, she's bit me. And they're like, oh God, he's like, it's okay. And then he's like, I'm going to need some hands here. But he's like so relaxed, his fangs are in his neck.
Wow. Amazing. And I guess that is the thing that, you know, Australia's known for is its wildlife. Because my family's up in the mountains. So warmer months of the year, funnel web spiders come out. You got to check your shoes. That's a bit of a thing.
Yeah.
But how about you, Joe? Because your fam's more down south. Your parents, you go down. It's usually a bit of a mission down south to hang with the fam.
Yeah, a little trip down there, but you know, it's like an hour. It's no big deal.
Not too far. Is beach part of your Christmas ritual?
It is. Yeah. We don't because we're a bunch of whiteys. No one's
hiding
spending
from
the day
the sun.
At the beach. You know what I mean? Like,
couple hours.
Yeah, you get down there, you see the Islander families, you see like the Middle Eastern family. Like, you guys can handle this. For me, it's like we'll go down for a swim like first thing, and then get the fuck
out of there.
Yeah, usually. Yeah. So no, that's our vibe. Go down and do that, and then go home and chill. But yeah, man, same deal, right? It'd be a bunch of food coming through, more than you need.
Yes.
You know, I find the greatest advice that, you know, it took me many years to learn this, but don't try and eat everything.
What? What the fuck are you talking about? That's all I ever do.
You can eat it all like over the day.
The time. in one.
But yeah, it's like I've got one plate. I'm gonna put 17 different
one
things
plate,
on it.
one opportunity. Palms are sweaty, mum's spaghetti.
Like my sister, man, she does that every time, and she's like, "Oh, I don't know why I do it." I'm like, "I don't know why you do it, because you're just a kid." Like, it's like just relax. It's like the buffet thing.
Yeah.
You know, you see people just like, oh, I'm gonna get some pasta and some sushi and some stew.
Nah.
You're like, nah, dude.
One at a time.
I find it the shit's much more enjoyable when it's minimal like that.
Yeah, and for me also, I actually like to eat a bunch of one thing at a time. I'm like, steak. Give me 3 steaks.
Do you enjoy that though?
Yeah, I do.
I think you're
love
unique
it
in that way. I mean, a lot of people.
No.
On my day, like just sitting there eating a pile of meat.
So my
like,
good friend, and ex-partner Sonny Munn had once said to me, "Do you ever just savor the thing? Like take something small and just take it." I'm like, the key to savoring is more. I'm not slowing my pace. If I want to enjoy this more, I need more of it. I'm not going to slow down and
duration game.
Chew at 30 sit. Yeah, I mean, I think the thing for me is I have been for whatever reason, raised on 2.5 meals since I was very young. So I'm an obese man stuck inside of a relatively fit man's body. But I'll go use it. I don't know. It doesn't bother me too much. But you're right in saying what you said, Joe, that putting too much on your plate at one time is a massive mistake. And did you say steak? Mistake. More steak. But I think, for example, I know that everyone in my family is just pussies when it comes to eating. So it's not going to run out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just like, what the grandma? No, R.I.P. Much respect to my grandma. But, it's hard to eat when you got no teeth. I think the thing is that no one in my family is a big eater, really. Other than my brother-in-law, Tom, who can put it away.
He's a big fella, like tall guy.
He's a big rig.
Big human.
He can get it done. Everyone else is just going to have one plate, and then they're like, oh, Christmas, I got to have a nap. And I'm like, me and Tom are like, all right, time for round 10. So I love the opportunity to spend time with the family, eat a bunch of protein, and then just go lift some weights. It's bulking time, really. For anyone out there, like I said, if there is a jiu-jitsu open mat, get in there. Yeah, it's awesome. But I find that there's less jiu-jitsu around Christmas time. I'm excited.
Why's that?
We have an apparel sponsor, Parry Athletic.
Bro, George came through, messaged us on the Instagram, said he's been following our program for ages. He's getting stronger and more mobile. And he's got this cool gear company called Parry, and he wants to send us some stuff.
And he told me that his mission was to create the best pair of training shorts ever.
Yeah, he wanted something that he could lift and roll in, and that could accommodate thick, muscular thighs and hips.
And that suits us.
Speaks to us.
Also, what I like is I love the colorful design. It actually looks really cool.
I am the most colorful dude on the mats these days, hands down.
I think the thing that I've loved about it is just it feels good. It feels good. It looks good. And you, ladies and gentlemen, can get a discount when you go to checkout. If you go to parryathletics.com, put in the code Bulletproof20 and you get 20% off. Oh, yeah.
Always is, yeah.
Yeah.
Every year, so where I go to my parents' place, there's a couple of gyms nearby. Garage Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, yes.
Ryan Walsh, right?
Nice, yeah. Our boy, yep.
Friend of the show. And I'm always like, I'm getting in. I always take my shit with me. I've always got my gear and I never get in.
Oh, no?
Well, it's just usually really hard. It's like,
Okay.
I'll go on that morning, and then it's like, the kids want to go to the beach. And you're like, let's go to the beach.
Sure.
Whatever it is, like something gets in the way. I will take my gear again this year and
Full
hope to get down
full
there.
intention.
Absolutely. But yeah, I do find that getting a training session in
amongst.
Yeah, I'm a fan of relaxing when it's time off.
Yes.
And I think it's really important, right? Especially for people who are working hard, which I'm imagining is the majority of people listening to this.
Yep.
If you're a lazy then go do some work. But
go get a Christmas job.
Yeah. But so, take that time off. However, and I definitely don't stick to a rigid training schedule when I'm chilling.
Yeah.
But I enjoy training. That's one thing. But I enjoy my time more if I've trained that day.
Yes.
So I actually don't like sitting around the house just eating food all day if I haven't done anything.
Yeah.
But if I've been to the beach and f***ed around
Been
and wrestled
active.
and gone swimming and that's at least something. But if I can go get an open mat, dude, lunch on that day, dinner that day, a couple beer, crack a beer at 4:00, let's go. You know what I mean?
It's more rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not Foster's, by the way. That shit.
Export beer, just like the shrimps.
But no, I think that's true, and I think that we miss that because so much of what is sold about holiday time is I might be generalizing a bit here, which I have a proclivity to do, is just do nothing. Do holidays, do nothing, eat, consume products, consume food, blah blah blah. So I totally agree with you about that idea of how much better is food when you have been active. In the same way, how good is cold water when you're so thirsty because you've been pumping sweat, working, training. You're like, oh yeah.
Those meat sweats from all that ham you've been shoveling into your face.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about,
sure, yeah.
I'm talking about because a lot of people who don't, it's interesting. I've heard this where people are like, what's so good about water? Water's boring. Why would I drink water? Well, clearly you don't.
Says that.
You don't know. Idiots. Fucking idiots. People who don't work out. If you have never been really dire thirsty and you get some nice cold water, you're like, oh, that's crisp. Like, how satisfying is it? In the same way, when you're hungry, food is more delicious and more satisfying. Like, food that's normally pretty plain, you're like, it's the best damn crackers I ever ate.
What did you put on this steak? Salt.
Yeah, it's like, it's what you do with it, love.
Yeah, it's true.
The castle.
Life is brighter when you've had some struggle.
When there is a need. Yeah. And so I think what I would like to do, or I'd like to advocate for, is that maybe this holidays people can input a little bit of activity or struggle. Because you've mentioned this before, that you sometimes have a little bit of a holiday routine. You like to just pick a simple type of, if you don't have access to a gym, because maybe it's a public holiday. Here in Australia, Christmas Day, Boxing Day, the day after, shit's closed. But maybe you're not using those days to work out, but maybe you're remote, you're in the middle of nowhere. I have seen previously, Joe, that you chuck together a few exercises, just do a few things.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of just like a little 3 exercise circuit.
Something simple.
3-4 exercises, body weight, whatever. If mum's got like a 12 kilo or 16 kilo kettlebell, I'll see if I can do something with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, always. Because, I don't know, I don't want to work out for an hour.
No.
And it's usually like I'm doing it on the back porch while everyone's inside watching the cricket, or...
Sure, yeah.
Well, dad's watching the cricket, everyone else is complaining about the cricket. Rightly so, sure. It's a sport.
Great. Damn. It's like baseball. It's a great sport to get drunk to.
Oh, life is just too short for cricket.
Shout out to anyone who got offended by that.
There is something nice about
all,
it being
all
on.
All of the what do you call it? Colonized nations are like, damn you, Joe.
All of our Indian listeners are like,
India,
how
dare you?
But yeah, so yeah, back porch or backyard, whatever, right? So I'm like, oh, go on. And oftentimes I find, and I do think this is a really nice thing to do with your family. If you go outside and start doing some exercise, usually someone comes out and joins you.
Yeah, what's going on?
What are you doing? My mum will come out, my brother will come out, my sister never comes out.
She's actively avoiding you.
Even my dad these days will sometimes come out and they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just doing some things. Why don't you do some lunges or some shit? I go on. And it's because everyone knows they're going to feel a bit better by doing something.
Yeah.
So there is something nice and communal to that. And I do think that, I think that this modern concept of sitting around as a family and just gorging on rich foods and alcohol, it's not a healthy behavior.
Not at all.
It's fine to do that on one day, but the reality is we tend to not do it over one day. It's
stretches out.
Christmas, Boxing Day, and then it's like, a few days off and all that, and you're like, man, this isn't a good trend, right? So yeah, I like to do that kind of thing.
Break the pattern a little.
Yeah. So, body weight movements, Hindu push-ups, shrimp squats.
Yeah.
I don't know, deficit push-ups, some handstand shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'll usually post something on Bulletproof to give people a bit of inspiration.
Yeah, a bit of inspo.
But yeah, do you fuck with that stuff, or are you you need weights, you want the gym?
No, I sometimes I could just go, I like a park workout.
Yeah.
I could just go there was this I don't go super hard on it, but there was a pretty tough workout my old trainer FM gave us, which was just like pull-ups, push-ups, and V-sits, like V-ups. And it's like 1, 2, 3, 2, 4, 6. It's cumulative, but you don't have to do it that way.
Go as high as you can?
Yeah, it's meant to be 10, 20, 30, and then back down again, which is rough, but you don't have to do that. It could just be as simple as 5 sets of as many of that, as many of that, as many of that.
Yeah.
And then just walk around the park a bit. Like just, in Australia, depending on where you are, there'll be, if you're at a park, usually there'll be somewhere you can do a pull-up, even if it's a bloody tree branch. And there'll be like a set of benches or seats. Can work some push-ups off that, or dips, whatever you like.
Yep.
And then, and it's interesting that you always see people walking their dogs, people doing outdoor Barbie stuff. And yeah, man, for me, I think I like to just treat that time to think about the new year. So that's what I do. I use that time to appreciate what I have and then think about what will come. But it's nice. It's a great time of year, and I definitely feel very fortunate. Every year for me gets better, and I don't know if that's because I have more perspective and therefore I'm more grateful. But yeah, I think this year's been a good year, man. I'm super stoked on on all of you out there who are listening to our various ramblings and discussions. And yeah, I want to use this time to thank all of you for tuning in and appreciate all your support that helps us do this thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It always, where we say it every time we reflect on this, but it's always a shock that so many people have an interest in what we've got to say.
Yeah.
And so it is a huge privilege to be able to just sit here and talk shit.
Yeah.
And, poke fun at the bear, and you guys, want to get down on that. So thank you for giving us that position.
It's a beautiful thing. So we wish you a Merry Christmas wherever you are in the world, whether you're freezing cold or you're scorching hot. And hope you have a good time with your fam. And definitely excited. There's a lot of big new things coming in the new year.
Yeah, and also totally want to acknowledge like the folks who don't get all the family stuff over Christmas.
No, of course.
Whatever it is, maybe your family's gone, maybe you don't have one, maybe you don't know them, maybe you're going through some hard shit, divorced. I don't know. There's so many, maybe you're in a country, there's a war right now, right? Like there's so much shit going on and no doubt there were people listening to this that like probably hear us talking about all the family stuff and just like, damn, like that sounds really perfect.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice?
Yeah, and it really is. And so, thoughts to those folks, and hopefully you can get some kind of good community vibes, wherever you're at over the time.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
Thanks, bro. Enjoy. Thank you guys. Merry Christmas.